What's up, guys? Maniacs here, and welcome back to Time Tenshi. Rolling right into part 2. You guys can probably tell I'm recording these back to back. So yeah, let's go ahead and continue our scantily fucking assistance for our grandfather's lab deep underground with a time machine. Let's continue that journey now. So, on the west wing, we have the cafeteria. The north wing holds the living quarters. The east wing consists of the restroom, showers, and fitness/entertainment area. Finally, the south wing is the experimental laboratory where we can conduct our research. Not used as much now that we have the time window figured out, but it still comes in handy now and then. So, wait, I still can't believe any of this. How did you make time travel? How is something like that even possible? Well, Kenji, have you ever heard the old Japanese proverb, Minu ga hana? In English, not seeing as a flower? I don't believe so. I've never even heard of that. Well, what this roughly means is reality can't compete with imagination. He paused, letting the words sink in for a moment. I too believe time travel to be nothing more than a false fallacy, something that humans could only dream of, make movies of, write stories about. But as I delved more into my research in physics, I began to see things that my other colleagues and the theorists of the past could never seem to see. I started piecing things together, one by one, until I had finally found the solution. Once I had my solution, the only remaining thing necessary was to execute it. This took much of my wealth and investment to develop something that could trump reality, something only thought to exist within the imagination, and it was worth every penny. I nodded, still slightly confused, but at least I knew his intentions. So how long did it take to make all this? Altogether, roughly 27 years, if I'm not mistaken. I tried to go solo, believe it or not, and it just wasn't working. So I went out and looked for some of the most brilliant minds that I could possibly find across the globe, and those three out there are just that. They just happen to be super hot and giant boobs. Of course, why not? Them? Why so surprised, Kenji? Don't let looks deceive you. Those girls are some of the most intelligent beings this world has to offer. Those three, as well as myself, were able to construct a working time machine single-handedly. But Kyo said she wasn't that old. Well, I should be a bit more precise. My equations, estimates, and theories started long ago while I was still in college. It took me around 25 years to finalize the correct theories and map blueprints for the machine together. To gather resources and funds, all of those things. The girls were able to build the machine with me, with my guidance, in around 2 years at the most. Wow. Just then, I felt a warm pair of arms slip their way around my neck as a soft body pressed against my back. I felt heat flood my cheeks immediately. Why, hello there, new guy. Hello there, Rose. Ooh, somebody's nervous. That's so cute, you know that? Oh, you're the one with the different colored eyes. That is incredibly cool, and that is a weird dress compared to what you had on before, but hey, a girl that actually has some fucking clothes on. Her arm slipped away as she walked around me to see from the front. Now that I got a good look at her, the curves she had before seemed to have deflated a bit. Maybe it was just because she was wearing a new outfit now? Tensei giving you the grand tour, I see? Yeah. No. Well, hope you feel at home here. I know I do. With that, she hugged me again before stepping away towards the north wing. You'll have to excuse Rose. She still hasn't quite gotten over the effects of the time window yet. What effects? I feel that's something important I should know. In time, Kenji, I promise. There's only so much I can tell you all at once. The fact that you have to process that time machines exist should be enough for now. I hesitated before realizing that, yeah, he was pretty much right. So now what? Well, since you're going to be here for a while, I figured you may want to get to know the girls while I go out and pick up some essentials for the lab. Yeah, I'm sure you know him real well there, Sensei. Fucking creepy old man. You could probably find Kyo in the entertainment lounge, and Rose looked like she was heading towards her room. Michelle will be in the main lab, of course. Take your time and get to know them, okay? Alright, thank you. He started to walk away, but I turned and called to him. Grandpa! Really, thank you. I appreciate you helping me. It's nothing, Kenji. Don't worry about it. Just rest easy for today, alright? Alright. Who should I visit first? I should go see what Kyo is up to. She seemed nice to me for what little I saw of her. Sure. Cool room. I got like a weird looking Xbox thing with like a Dreamcast controller. Okay. Hey there, Kyo. Okay. Why? sure. Hi, Kenji. Everything okay? As okay as it can be after you're told that time travel is possible. Oh, yeah, I have to agree. The whole idea was pretty crazy to me when your grandpa first told me about it. But then I started working with Rose and Michelle, and well, it sort of made sense, I guess. How did my grandpa find you guys, anyway? Well, from what he told us, he went scouting for some of the greatest young minds that he could possibly find. Me, I was going to the University of Tokyo, studying to become an engineer, like the other girls who work here. One day, he approached me and offered me a once-in-a-lifetime deal. He explained it in more detail, of course, not like I was going to let some old guy just take me away from higher education. So is the University of Tokyo anything like American universities? Funny you should ask. You see, in Japan, public universities are seen as much more prestigious than private ones. Why is that? I'd rather not go too deep into the history of Japan today. Maybe sometime later? Alright, sorry. And like that, the difference between those two is just different. Also, her eyes were two different colors. Don't be silly, it's fine. Anyway, was there anything else you needed to know? So why did Grandpa have this thing set up? Do you guys live down here or something? Yep, he provides us room and board, but we're obviously allowed to go back up into normal society and do things as well. We aren't slaves or anything, so I hope that you didn't think of it like that. Yeah, okay. Oh, no, of course not. I didn't take my grandfather as that sort of person. Good. He takes real good care of us, respects us, and keeps the place clean and makes sure everything is in working order. He even let me bring some of my gaming console / anime DVDs down here, which was super sweet of him. Oh? What games do you play? Oh, all kinds. I like platformers a lot, though. And puzzle games. I've never been one for shooters, but I don't mind them if they're creative enough. It's mostly just because I suck at them. I'm the complete opposite, but yeah, I'm not so good at shooters either. Oh, what animes do you usually watch? Oh, that's tough. Well, I like those silly drama ones with a lot of fan service and stuff. Yeah. And they could be a lot of fun to watch sometimes just because of how over the top they are. Like this game. You don't say. You enjoy fan service? It's kind of a weird face she's making right there, but okay. I just kind of find it funny. Now, how over the top it can be just to get it so that the guy's face is directly underneath the girl's skirt. I mean, how silly can you get? Yeah, ridiculous. Kenji, what are you thinking about? Nothing. Okay, did you have anything else that you wanted to ask me? What exactly happens to you guys when you go through the time window? Oh, well, Michelle is more of an expert than I am on that. Oh, well, Michelle is more of an expert than I am on the like scientific stuff, but from my experience, it's kind of like being drunk, I guess. Like, not blackout drunk or anything, it's just, I get all woozy and start saying things that I normally wouldn't say and do things I normally wouldn't do. Like I said, you'll have to talk to Michelle if you want to know the science behind it. I just know that's how I feel. Oh, also, my boobies get huge. You okay? Fine, just didn't expect that. I think it's fun. I'm so used to them being this size that whenever I go through the time window and they get all big like that, it's really, really funny to me. Was there anything else you wanted to ask me? I think that's about all for now. I'm gonna go chat with some of the other girls. Get to know them a bit. Okay, but come back so we can watch this together, okay? Bye. Yeah, I'm gonna go rub one out in the bathroom now after you just fucking told her that. Jesus. I should probably go check and see if Rose is any better yet. Oh, Rose, Oh, Kenji, come in. I wanted to speak with you. Okay. Huh? She's got more of an English accent than I remember. Oh, wow, she's got a really posh room. I wanted to apologize for my behavior earlier. I was certainly not behaving like myself. May I try introducing myself again? Of course. She reached her hand out and I took it and shook. She smiled. She smiled at me sweetly. My name is Rose. I hail from the southern part of England. Ah, I thought I could hear an accent. Well, it's not nearly as thick as it used to be, that's for certain. So, what exactly happened to make you behave so differently? Well, Michelle is more of the expert when it comes to the science behind it, but going through the time window definitely has effects on every person, male or female. There used to be far worse things that could happen before we were allowed to go through, like complete adrenal failure and becoming comatose. That would suck. It took us a while to work out the kinks on those sort of things. Oh my god. So you tested on things? I could see her shift uncomfortably. I'm not exactly comfortable talking about it. Is there anything else aside from that, like, you would like to know? Yeah, how did you start working for my grandfather? Ah, well, that's an easy one. He was searching for some of the best scientific and engineering minds in the world had to offer. His words, not mine. So you were studying to be an engineer too? Nope, I was studying general science and pharmaceuticals, also brain chemistry, human biology, all sorts of things like that. Stuff like that. I was going to be one of those people who works on new medications, sorry. I still do when I'm not working here. Wow, cool. What medications have you made so far? That's classified. Sorry. Anything else you want to know while you're here? I noticed some fencing headgear on the elegant chair in the room, and a saber leaning against the wall. So you're into fencing? Oh yes, I grew up learning how to fence. I also enjoy a bit of tennis from time to time. Very active then. Yep, I go out every day for a run around the lab perimeter and work out in the gym near the entertainment center. I could give you some lessons sometime if you want. I warn you, however, I get very wet whenever I work out. Sweaty. I get very... Never mind. Anything else you wanted to ask me? Exactly. Who the hell says I get wet when I work out? No! You say sweaty. Are you feeling better now, as opposed to before? Well, it usually takes a full 24 hours for the effects to wear off physically. Mentally, myself and Kyo can revert back pretty quickly, though we still tend to slip up during the drawback period. Does Michelle not go through the time window, or do the mental effects just last longer on her? Michelle is our commander and advisor. She makes sure nothing goes wrong while we were through the time window. I said it right. I don't know why I stopped. So she kind of has to stay on the other side and watch, no matter what, since she knows the technical stuff much better than Kyo and I. What about my grandfather? Tensei keeps track of many other things while the time window is open. Usually he's here for emergency backup. Earlier today, he went to get you, even though I was still through the window because he trusted Michelle enough to handle it on her own. He respects Michelle quite a bit with his technology. She was one of the biggest helpers in actually putting it together. I see. Any other questions? I think that's about all for now. I should let you rest. I'll talk to you more later, I hope. Of course, Kenji. You're living here with us now. You'll obviously see me around. Her smile was absolutely stunning. I stepped out back into the hallway with a wave. Cool. I should visit Michelle. Sure. Hey, Michelle. Oh, hello, Kenji. Still around, I see. Yeah, everything all right? Just fine, just fixing up a few things on the database before we prepare for our next jump through the time window. It takes a lot of energy and planning to make sure everything goes correctly. Ah, I see. Was there anything you wanted to know, Kenji? I can answer any questions you have. I know your grandfather wanted you to wait, but if you're up for it, I can give you a bit more detail on working on the lab. Yeah, actually, I was kind of wondering about a few things. Like what? Well, why did you agree to help my grandfather build this? Ah, that's an easy one. You see, I'm the eldest of the trio of girls here, and as such, I've been pursuing my scientific and engineering career for quite a while now. I've always wanted to be part of a bigger project and push things to their absolute limit. Sometimes, that is the only way to discover new things. When your grandfather came to me, I was still over at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, getting my PhD in mechanical engineering, minoring in material science engineering. Gramps saw this as the perfect combination for his studies and asked me to help out. Don't you find it kind of suspicious that he's got all girls for his project? At first glance, it is extremely suspect, yes. I had my doubts about his intentions. But once you get to know him, you can tell that Gramps is a very nice and genuine man. Yeah, he just likes to have a view, too. Don't blame him. He didn't come to us because we were attractive or because we were female. He came to us because we were some of the most intelligent in our fields, across the entire world. Boy, they were really hammering that in there. Your grandfather, he did his research. He went for younger people as opposed to older people because he felt they had more open minds. So, did he tell you why he wanted to make a time machine in the first place? Gramps is a very interesting individual. He literally told me the first time we discussed this idea of his that he wanted to do this simply to see if he could. I asked him, what if you put all this time, money, and resources into this pipe dream, only for fall on your face? And you know what he told me? He said, well, then at least I tried to do something impossible instead of just dreaming about it for the rest of my life. That's a really good actual setup right there. Speech, I guess you could go with that. Gramps wanted to test his imagination, his ideas. He wanted to put forth his formulas and break the laws that mankind had set for themselves. And look at that. He did. He did it. So what do you guys use it for then? Well, we were going to use it to confirm history. Merely as observers, we were going to go back and make sure that things in the history books actually played out the way they were. Scientists and engineers working as historians? If you want to simplify it like that, by all means. Unfortunately, we didn't get to do that for very long. What do you mean? What happened? I suppose I should tell you about this now rather than later. One day, as we were nearing the end of a development, we were hacked by an espionage organization. Somehow, they gained word of our development and stole what was essentially the complete research that we had held in our possession. The company's name is Krontech. Ever since they copied the blueprints from under our nose, we've had to do 2 jobs. Our main historian job, as well as tracking them and making sure they don't alter time in any way. If they do that, well, time could potentially fall apart. So why are they doing it? We knew that risk when we started developing the machine. It's unfortunate that the blueprints got out of our hands before we could stop Krontech. Oh man, how do you prevent them from doing anything? We usually cut them off in the past, used some disruptors I developed to send them back to their own time without hurting them. Tensei is working on getting a lock on their location in order to shut down their facility for good. Hasn't had any results as of yet, however. Dang, have you tried negotiating with them, telling them the dangers? Of course, they go against our words, saying that science was meant to be tested. They aren't inherently evil people. We just aren't sure whether they're responsible enough to handle time travel technology. Well, when you think about it, is anyone responsible enough for it? Got a point. Sorry, forgot I said anything. Was there anything else you wanted to know, Kenji? Yeah, but what happens to people who pass through the time window? Ah, now how did I know you would ask about that? I'm asking purely for scientific... Yeah, save it, you perv. So basically, the science behind it is that when a person goes through the time window, their endocrine system gets a sort of hypercharge, if you will. It causes to work overtime, and thus it produces an outlandish amount of estrogen. This, among a few other things, makes the girls grow more womanly curves and act a lot more seductive. So it messes with their brain? Essentially, yes, but we've tested enough to make sure none of the effects are harmful or permanent. So we'd ask that you stay in your room for 24 hours after any of the girls come back through the time window, as to prevent any sort of activities. That's boring. I shuffled uncomfortably as she said it, a stern look on her face. I nodded silently. Now then, anything else you wanted to know? I think that's all I can handle for now, Michelle. Thank you. I'm more than happy to talk about these things, Kenji. Feel free to talk to me more about anything else that may confuse you. For now, go get some rest. Yeah, alright. I'll see you tomorrow. Woo! Okay, that's a good place to stop right there. I love the fact the whole perv thing, and yeah, she's a buzzkill. Anyway, that's all the time I got for this part, guys. Hopefully you guys are still enjoying this series. Hopefully you guys are still enjoying the story. The story is actually interesting. I'm very surprised by how the story is kind of drawing me in. I like these types of stories and stuff like that. The writing's actually pretty decent. Obviously, the girls are a little bit ridiculous, but the writing and everything is really good. And I'm honestly surprised by the story and curious to see how it's going to go from here. And I'm curious who this Krontech company is. But anyway, that's all the time I got for today, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Again, as always, if you want to check the game out yourself, I'll put a link to it in the description below. You can pick it up on Steam. Thank you guys for checking out the part, and I'll see you guys next time. Maniacs out.